स्फटिकाय नमः ऊर्ध्वाय नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णाय नमः सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः दिव्याय नमः दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः भवाय नमः भवनिताय नमः सर्वाय नमः सर्वलिङ्गाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वराय नमः ज्वरलिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत्सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गं नसाकारि पाणिमत्रं पवित्रं सत्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सत्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्वः भवोद्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः ज्येष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः करविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमदनाय नमो सर्वभूतगमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः अघोरेभ्यो अघोरेभ्यो घोरघोरकरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वसर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ईशानः सर्वविद्यानाम् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपते ब्रह्मणोऽधिपते ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो नमो हिरण्यबाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये पद्मापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराधिरतो निरहादिवेदः शरपशरति दुर्गाणि विश्वं नावेव सिन्धुं दुरिताद्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचयीं कर्मफले सुजुस्ताम् दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वां पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्ति विरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूर्च पृथ्वी बहुलान उर्वी भवातोकाय तनयाय संयो विश्वानिनो दुर्गः जातवेद सिन्धुं नरावादुरितादिपर्षि अग्ने अग्निमन्मय संगृहाणो स्माकं भोज्यविका तनूनां हृदनादिकं समानमुग्रमग्निगुं पुवेम परमसदस्तात् शनपरशरदि दुर्गाणि विश्वं श्यामदेवो अतिदुरिताद्यग्निः सोपायाय च स्वाहा गोभिर्दुस्तमयो निषिक्तमिदनेन्द्रं विष्णुरं संचरेमा नागस्य विस्तमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीन्दुलोकरिममालयन्ताम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। विष्णोरुकं वेयानि परमोचं यत्प्रतिमानि विमहे प्रजागुं सीयो अस्कमाय दुत्तरगुं सदस्तं विचक्रमानस्तेनोरुगायः जगस्य प्रियमभिपातो हस्यां तयो यात्र देवयो मनन्ति गुरुक्रमस्य सनिबन्धुरिक्तां विष्णोः परे परमे पद्मोत्सवः विष्णुस्तवते वीर्याय मृगोलभीमाकुचरो गिरिस्ताव यस्रोरुषु त्रिषु विक्रमणेषु अलिक्ष्यन्ति भुवनानि विश्वा हरो मात्रया तनुवा मृगाना न ते महित्वा पद्मश्रुवन्ति उपेते विद्वरदसीति विक्रम विष्णो देवत्वं स्वयमस्य वित्सेत् विचक्रमे पृथिविदेश एकां शेताय विष्णोर्मनुषेदसस्य दुहासो अस्य कीनयोजनाशः पुरोक्षितिगुः सृजनिमाचकार त्रिदेवा पृथिविदेश एकां विचक्रमे सतर्च सम्महित्वा प्रविष्णुरस्तु तव सस्तवीयान् ये सभ्यस्य शरीरस्य नामा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पुरुषस्य विद्मसहस्राक्षस्य महादेवस्य धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नो षण्मुखः प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे स्वर्णपाशाय धीमहि तन्नो गरुडः प्रचोदयात्। वेदात्मनाय विद्महे हिरण्यगर्भाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात्। नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। वज्रनटाय विद्महे विश्वधनुषाय धीमहि तन्नो नारसिंहः प्रचोदयात्। भास्कराय विद्महे महाविकराय धीमहि तन्नो आदित्यः प्रचोदयात्। वैश्वानराय विद्महे लाहिलाय धीमहि तन्नो अग्निः प्रचोदयात्। कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो
Om Sri Sairam. Today, we are privileged to have Brother Sri S.S. Nagaran with us here at our center today. Sri S.S. Nagaran is a distinguished senior advocate with an illustrious career in law spanning several decades. Hailing from a family of renowned family of lawyers, He has made significant contributions to the legal profession and has been a dedicated devotee of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba since 1965. He was designated by the High Court of Karnataka as a senior advocate in 2003, currently serving as the Vice President of both the Bar Association of India and Law Division. He was appointed by Swami in the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust Council of Management. He is also the Board of Management member contributing to the governance of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. He was appointed by Swami to the Sri Satya Sai Medical Trust in the year 2000. He also holds trusteeships in the Sri Satya Sai Sadhana Trust and the Sri Satya Sai Media Foundation. Brother Sri S.S. Naganan also represents the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust on the Executive Committee of the Sri Satya Sai Global Council. Sri S.S. Naganan's unwavering dedication to Swami's mission, coupled with his expertise in law, has made him a respected figure in both the legal community and the Sai fraternity. Together, let's put our hands together to welcome Brother Sri S.S.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble, loving, reverential pranams at the ever present, ever smiling, ever helping, ever blessing. I can go on with these adjectives for the next half an hour. Bhagwan. What a relief it is to be in your presence in Kuala Lumpur. He's always in our presence. We are always in His presence. But how does one feel His presence? How does one invoke Him into our hearts? How does one remember Him at all times? When you're happy, when you're disappointed, when you're sad, when you're with loving people, when you're in the midst of people you hate, when you're in the midst of people you don't like, when you're in difficulty, when you're overjoyed. All these times, we have to only keep Swami in our heart. Swami used to say, Prema Swarupalara, Divyatma Swarupalara. And in casual conversations, and Swami was very affectionate, say, Bangaru, Bangaru, Bangaru. Means your 24 karat gold. In Telugu and Kannada, they say Aparanji. Aparanji is 24 karat gold, pure gold. So Swami would say, Bangaru, Bangaru, Aparanji, Bangaru. In that exuberance of affection and compassion, he used to use such expressions. What does all this indicate? It only indicates one thing, that God is indeed Prema Swarupa. He is the very embodiment of love. And these are expressions which we all use very casually. That Swami is the embodiment of love, he has the love of 1,000 mothers, and he loves everybody, he has compassion for everybody. These words we keep hearing. But how do we experience it? If we keep our eyes and ears open, then we experience it. Now, how many of us in this room have had the great good fortune of coming for Swami's darshan? Can you lift your hands as to how many have come for darshan, who have had darshan of Swami from any distance, in Swami's immediate presence? Okay. quite a number. Now I'm asking all of these people a question. Of the number of times that you came for Swami's darshan, I'm sure not more than 1 or 2 or 3 occasions you would have had occasion to have very close interaction with Bhagavan, to touch his feet, or to touch his hands, or to connect at close quarters with him. Am I right? Very few occasions you would have had. But all of us who went there, every time, whether you went very close to Bhagavan or you didn't go close to Bhagavan, you go and sit in Kulwant Hall, expecting Swami to come. You're sitting some distance away. You know Swami is going to come from Yajur Mandir. Your eyes will be straying towards the gate of Yajur Mandir. No? Why your eyes are straying there? Why your mind is going there? Because you are eagerly anticipating to see Swami's beautiful divine form coming out of Yajur Mandir in his flowing robe, his sparkling eyes, his face full of smile, a very embodiment of love and compassion, and the way he used to float inside. And what would we all be doing? We'd all be concentrating our gaze on Swami's divine form. And every one of us will be praying very hard. Swami must come near me. Swami must come in front of me. I should be able to touch his feet. He should look at me. He should bless me. He should give me a chance of saying something, asking something. And we feel very blessed. These thoughts are in our mind. And many times our thoughts are answered and Swami will give whatever we wanted. Most times that won't happen. Your yearning will be there, but God has not granted you what you wanted. Now, many people used to ask Swami that, Swami, give me one ring, give me one bracelet, give me one necklace, give me vibhuti, give me a nice wife, good children, big house, good job, foreign appointment. All these things they keep asking Bhagavan. You know, but Swami often used to say, people come and ask me so many things, but nobody is coming to ask me to give what I have come to give them. I have come to give them something. What is it that I come to give them? I know. But nobody is coming and asking me to give them what I have come here to give you. So you must learn to ask what he has come to give you. If at all you have to ask. I mean, whatever his blessing, you never ever had to ask Bhagavan anything. In so many years of being at very close quarters with Bhagavan, for so many reasons, professional and other reasons, only thing that I showed was devotion, dedication, and humility in front of Bhagavan. Nothing else. There was not an occasion that I had to ask anything. Before I could ask, Swami used to offer, give, and say, take. I'll start with a very interesting episode relating to a very mundane thing, like giving me a car. You know, one day Bhagavan asked my wife, in which car you came? So she said, we had just bought a Skoda Octavia. So she said, Skoda Octavia. So he said, I want to go for a ride in that. So it stopped there. Then this was in Purnachandra Hall. So in those days, those of you might know, Swami lived in the mandir, where now the mandir where puja is held, behind the samadhi, in that building. That building was built in the early 50s. And in front there was no other building, there was only sand there. The south block came much later. So then in the upper floor, Swami used to live. And those of you, if you see the olden type construction, each step was 1.5 feet. So you needed strong legs to climb up that. And it's just tiny. My size, I would have to walk up like this. That's the size. The width of that was only, I think, 2.5 feet, less than 3 feet. Staircase is still there. And you had to go steep upstairs. One room upstairs. There was one cot. If you put a table there, you have to remove the chair which was there. If you keep a chair there, there was no place for a table there. Swami lived in that from the 50s till the mid 70s, 20 years. There's no other accommodation. Then he came to Purnachandra. So in Purnachandra, he was there from mid 70s till 90s when this Mandir was built. Very reluctantly he moved there. So when he was in Purnachandra, one day after this conversation about car, this happened in Purnachandra. And in Purnachandra hall, all Swami's cars used to park there before they started parking where it is now parked. So there were 10, 11 cars there. And he's standing there, all of us standing there, my wife is also there, and he says, no, you select whichever car you want. Hey, Satyajit, bring the key. Bring all the keys. So Satyajit came, got all the keys. Should take any car you want. So I was perplexed. I said, Swami, I can't accept a car. I just folded my hand. Of course, I didn't tell Swami I can't accept a car. I told my hand. I just kept quiet. He's telling my wife, tell your husband to take one car. You can go comfortably. And you can come fast. He's telling my wife, your husband drives very fast. Don't tell him to drive slowly. So this conversation went on for some time. I just put my hand down, folded my hands. I did not say anything, kept quiet. And Swami left it at that. The topic ended, darshan ended, and we came back. Now for several years, as a young man, I wanted to buy a Mercedes car. Who doesn't want to buy a good car? So I used to tell my wife, I want to buy a Mercedes car. She always used to tell me, you're never going to buy a Mercedes car in your lifetime. Forget it. You're never going to be able to buy one. And she said, you will not spend that much money on a car. I know you will. So this conversation went on for some time. Just after this conversation with Bhagwan and his blessing came back, one day somebody called me, a good friend of ours. He said, there is a Mercedes car which I want you to buy. So I said, well, I've really not thought of it. I know you want it. I'll get the car. You just give me a check for 1 lakh. Rest you pay whenever you want. So this car was a car which they had used by Mercedes for sponsoring a tennis tournament. So this car had run only 800 or 900 kilometers. So it's a sponsor car for the players. At the end of that, they sell it at dirt cheap, 50% for the price. So he said, you give me the rest of the money. How much is the rest of the money? He gave me some 18 lakhs, something like that. That's all it was. The car itself was 45 lakhs at that time. So this is the price. So he said, give me 1 lakh. And he said, I'm coming with the car, and I'll give you the car now. You give me 1 lakh, I'll give it to the company, and you pay the rest whenever you want. So I was, thrilled. I said, okay, we took the car. I came home, I didn't tell my wife. I told her, you know what? I bought a car. She said, yeah, you bought a car. Which car did you buy? She said, I bought a Mercedes car. I said, come on, I know you're joking. You should be joking. It's not possible that you go and buy a Mercedes car just like that. I told her, no, really, it's a blue color Mercedes car. You come down and see. So then she came and saw. She said, really, you bought this car? I said, yes. Now after this, there is no car in the Indian market which I have not been able to buy. Every single car you can name, I got it. All that Swami said has turned true and without borrowing. I changed cars so many times. Every time Swami you charge which car will come by, which car will you drive now. So what I am saying is, you don't have to ask Swami. What you have to get, you will get with His grace. Now, we talk of Swami as God, as Guru. Now let's understand who is God, who is Guru. Now, the famous philosopher Adi Shankara Bhagavad has written many compositions. One of the compositions is called Prashnottara Ratnamalika. And in that Prashnottara Ratnamalika, he poses a question. The This is 67 verses. It's very easy, very simple. I've written a small English commentary on that. Maybe you can buy it and see it. Each couplet has got 2 lines. Each line has got 2 questions and 2 answers. So crisp. So one question at the beginning he poses, Ko Guru, means who is a guru? Then he answers, Adhigata Tattvaha Shishya Hitayodhyataha Satatam. That means Guru is one who is completely in the know of the truth. What is the real truth of God is something which the Guru knows. The second quality of the Guru, or Shankara Prabhupada says, is Shishya Hitayodhyataha Satatam. Which means he is one who is always thinking of the welfare of his Shishyas. He doesn't think of anything else. You can't do prostrations to him. He will not say somebody is falling at my feet. He will say, be happy. We all see, Swami always used to say, be happy. In fact, Swami himself narrates this. That when somebody came to inform some condolence in the family, Swami will hear peacefully. And then he'll say, be happy. So people sometimes get offended. They say, what is this? I've come to tell Swami that bereavement has taken place in the family and Swami is telling me to be happy. What does that mean? Is he so inconsiderate? People think like that. But you look at it like this. Be happy means that ups and downs, tragedies and triumphs are part of life, isn't it? Is there anybody who has not faced difficulties in life, who has not faced bereavement? Now I go to another composition. In Mahabharata, there is a portion called Yaksha Prashna. It comes in Aranya Parva. What happens is Dharmaraja and his brothers are in the forest in disguise. So one day he is very thirsty and Dharmaraja tells his brothers, I need some water, go get some water. So one by one they go, nobody comes back. That's the background I'm giving you. I will not go much into detail. And at the end of it, he realizes something is wrong, so he goes. When he goes, he sees all his brothers lying down flat in front of a water body. So he's about to touch the water to drink. Then he hears a voice, the Yaksha says, don't touch the water. And if you touch the water, the same fate will befall you as your brothers. So Dharmaraja stops and says, yes sir, please tell me, what is it? So this portion, there are 100 questions. And each question the Yaksha poses and Dharmaraja has to give an answer. The last question is Kim Ashcharyam? What is it that surprises you most? The answer Dharmaraja gives is that every day all of us are seeing, hearing, experiencing death all around us. If you open the newspaper, in Indian newspapers, every page, minimum 2 to 3 deaths will be reported. It's either by murder, or theft, or car accident, or women's defilement, rape. All this every page, 3, 4 items are there. And all of us are experiencing it. How many of us can say that I have not seen a single person in my circle of relatives and friends who has not passed away? All of us have seen it. But Dharmaraja says, Kim Ashcharyam means, in spite of seeing this all around us, none of us feel that my turn is coming soon. It's going to come any day. Do we know when? My father was arguing a case in court. He was hale and hearty. He was only 72 years. He just collapsed inside the court, said, my lord, and left the world. So it can come any time. So Swami, when he says, be happy, manchidi is good. For whom good? For the person who left, isn't it? For him or her, this life sojourn is over. They come here because of a karma. They have come here to get rid of the karma. And then go where? Ultimately, we have to go to God. Now, in Hindu philosophy, there's a distinction between Swarga and Moksha. No, Swarga is heaven. It's like a 5-star hotel, all paid permanent holiday. You get fantastic buffet breakfast and you can order whatever cuisine you want for lunch. Night you have everything that you can possibly think and dream of with no payment to be made. The waiters are all very good and you have everything that you need. That is Swarga. All the Vishaya Vasanas are satisfied. But unfortunately, Kshine Punye Martyalokam Bhavishyati. That means you have accumulated. Now if you go to a hotel, you give a credit card and then they take your payment and you pay for 4 days. After the end of 4 days, you go back to your room, you touch the door doesn't open. Then you have to go back to the cashier. Sir, my door is not opening. You check up. Sir, you have not paid. Please pay now and the door will open. So till you pay, the door doesn't open. Same thing in karma. Kshine Punya means once the punya you have done come to an end, then what happens to you? Martyalokam Bhavishyati. That means you are going to come back to this. So that is Swarga. But we don't want Swarga, no? We don't want temporary happiness. No? We want permanent. And that is moksha. And what is moksha? Moksha is a place where you want to be in a state of permanent bliss at the divine lotus feet and merge in the divine lotus feet. No? Do we really want to be born again? If you ask me, all the trials and tribulations and efforts and love and affection and everything, ill will and good feelings and bad feelings, everything which you have endured in this life, no? Given a chance, I would say I don't want to be born. I've had enough. I've experienced everything. Let me live well. Let me look after my body well, as long as it is there. Let me be of some service. Let me do something good. Let me earn some merit or punya. Why? Because this Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatale shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare, krupaya pare pari murari. So what you should do? Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Murari. So Acharya said, no? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Why do you want this? You want permanent end to this suffering. So, how do you get it? You can only get it by 3 things. Again, I go back to Acharya. He says in this, one of the stotras, he says, Durlabham trayame vaitat daivanugraha hedukam manushyatvam mumukshatvam mahapurusha samshraya. This is Viveka Chudamani, shloka number 2. 3 things are very difficult to get. This is Acharya saying. No, Acharya lived for only 32 years. He went up and down the country 3 times on foot. He wrote compositions. He knew all the Vedas. Everybody says that he is the divine incarnation of Mahashiva. And there are stories about how he incarnated and all that. But whatever, whether you believe his incarnation or not is beside the point. But what he said is this. He said 3 things very difficult to get. First one is Manushyatva, that's being born as human being. Because human beings are the only people who can think that I have to do good, I have to go towards God, there is a God, that I will get permanent peace if I go to God. This is what I want. The whole idea of having human birth is to progress. No, you don't want, from human life, you don't want to become a donkey. No, you want to become a dog or cat or donkey or lizard or something. No. We want to become good people. We want to live this life well. We want other people to say this is a good person. So that is the object of life. So human birth very difficult to get. Durlabham trayame. 3 things. First is Manushyatva. 2 is Mumukshatva. Now all of us are sitting here. How many attractions are there in Kuala Lumpur? How many of us would like to go and sit in a nice, beautifully decorated place and have nice dinner with good drinks and everything else? Go for a party and go to some bar upstairs, enjoy the dance. No, these are Vishya Sukhas. But all of us here, I have had to leave 2 receptions today to come here because my heart said I must be here, not there. I told Brother Mahendra that I have to attend 2 receptions. Please come and pick me up. I'll try to get out of that early. But at 7 o'clock, 7:15, my heart said, forget the reception. I want to be in Swami's presence. So I requested him, please come early. I'm coming with you. That's how I came here. That means we want to do something good. No? We want to progress on the spiritual path, isn't it? So how to progress in the spiritual path? You must have that desire. That desire is called mumukshatva. So you must have the desire to go towards God on the spiritual path. So that is the second thing, very difficult to get. And how you will get it comes in the next line. Catch word in this. Third thing is Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. Mahapurusha Swami, what is this? Mahapurusha, divine being. No, Samshraya is to be with them, in his presence, in his gaze, in his adoration. To be with such a person is very difficult. You won't be able to do it. Now, while we are coming here, we are talking about some episode, and again, you see, it was just haphazardly some episode. As we are talking that episode and he mentioned Swami, I looked out, and Brother Mahendra is showing me, see, this is Shirdi Mandir, and right in front of it we have Shirdi Baba, and next Swami with his hands up like this. At that very moment, now what do you say for this? So that means God is the one. The catch line is Durlabham Treme Vaitat Devanugraha Hetukam. That means this is possible only with the grace of God. If without Swami's grace, it is not possible. Without Swami willing all of us to be here, to be enjoying the bliss of what we are talking about, of the beautiful experiences that we have seen, is only because of him. If his will is there. So if his will has to be there, Swami used to say, no, nobody can come to Bhakti unless I will it. Today also, so many people ask me as to how do you manage to go to Puttaparthi so often? How do you manage to do that work? When you're so busy with work, you're this, you're that, a million things that you do, how do you still manage? I said, see, I have left it, I'm on autopilot. If I have to do Swami's work, I just tell Swami, you're doing me this work, I will do it. How I do it is left to you. I'm not going to, worry about it. I'm sure it will be done. But you have to manage my time. You're my timekeeper. Get somebody out of the way and I'll come to you straight away. So this experience has happened many times. And I mentioned one episode. This happens every other day to me, not now, but for years. I'm right in the middle of a case I'm arguing. I get a call saying that I couldn't receive the call. And I was wondering whose call it is, but I couldn't. I was right in the middle of cross-examining a witness. After a few minutes, the judge just takes the file, drops it on the table. The judge, witness can go. I'm not taking this case further. Let's call the next case. And just discharges the board. I was shocked and perplexed. What happened? Then I come outside, take a phone and look at it. Mr. Akbarth is calling me. And then I called him back. He said, "Enaya, phone it." I said, "What happened? You didn't pick up my call." He said, "No, sir, I was arguing in my legs in a court." I said, "What happened?" No, 3 mani vandadu inge. You should be here by 3 o'clock. This is at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So immediately I made arrangement, went home, didn't change, nothing, got into the car and reached the place at 3 o'clock and said, knocked on the Swami's door and they opened the door. "Hey, how did you come?" Swami made it possible to come. It was impossible for me to get out of that case because the judge had warned me, this Saturday you're going to finish it. But just happened. This happens all the time, even after Mahasamadhi, many times. So thing is, you have to surrender. Surrender means you have to give everything up. Don't think you are the doer. You are not the doer. God is the doer. If you have done something wrong consciously, that good or bad effect of that is on you. If you have not done anything bad intentionally, and if something happens, you're going in a car, somebody runs across the road, you hit a person, it's not your fault, then there is no animus to it. So the question of your being at fault may not arise. You might have caused pain to somebody, but it's not an action like that. So Swami always said that. And then one more question answered in Prashnottara. He asks, what is it that you must always obey? Or what is it that you must always do? Is a question. Answer is, follow Guru Vachana. This is what Acharya says. That means whatever Guru tells you, it is your bounden duty to follow. So Guru will not tell you to just go and jump into the sea or things like that. He will only tell you to do good things for your own good. Study well, be a good person, love your parents, respect your parents. They have done so much for you, so you show the respect and affection to them. Just like that, your children will show affection to you. This is the kind of advice Swami gives. If you can help somebody, help. If you can't help somebody, keep quiet. Don't hurt that person. Do something which is of good. So like this, he keeps on doing. Then Swami also guides us on the right path at the right time. When you need guidance, that is when your surrender to God will come in handy. I'll give one episode. My eldest daughter went to America to study master's degree in law. Now before that, she was very adamant that she wants to go to America to do her graduate degree. So we were all very worried. My eldest daughter, my wife was terrified how to let her go. I mean, I'm talking about some 25 years ago, or 20 years ago, how to let her go alone to America. That was our concern. She was hardly 17 years of age. So she was going on arguing with her mother. The daughter kept on saying, no, I'm going, do whatever you want, I'll only apply, you don't have to help me. All this, young people, they hear these things from many young people. They say, I'll do this, I'll do that. Okay, it's okay. It's good to have such desires. But listen to your parents occasionally also. So then she wouldn't listen. So my wife was at her wit's end. So once we went to Pupati, and then when Swami called us, she blurted out to say, Swami, I don't know what to do with my daughter. She's so young. She wants to go to America to study undergraduate class. How to send her, Swami? You only tell me. Can you send her like this? So Swami heard and kept quiet. He just smiled. He said, you bring her next week. So following week, all the children came. And Swami called us for interview. We were sitting. And he looked at her. So what are you doing now? She said, Swami, I finished my 12th standard. Then what do you want to become? I'm thinking of studying law. You do one thing. You do graduation here, good colleges in Bangalore. I will send you to America for post-graduation. The minute Swami said this, my daughter melted. She said, yes, Swami. Whatever you say, I'll do, Swami. No word, no discussion, nothing. And she came out and she forgot that she was adamant on going to undergraduate course. She told us, I'll apply to Bangalore College. I don't want to go anywhere. I'll study here. Swami has said he'll send me for master's degree. At that time I will consider. ठीक है, हो गया, 5 years she finished. And she got her graduation. She enrolled as a lawyer. After that, she remembered that Swami has said to send to America. So she started applying. She applied to many universities. George Washington University, she got a seat for a master's degree in intellectual property law, and all arrangements were to be made. Then came the pangs of separation of the parents. How to send her now? I told my wife, Swami has said he's going to send her and take care of her. Why do you have to worry? He will take care. You will tell him, Swami, you said so, you manage everything. This is what in our mind we tell. Of course, physically we will never tell you that. This is what we thought. Now we'll pray to him and say, Swami, you had said you'll take care, take care. Now what happened after that? She got admission in Washington University, which is a bit of a, what shall I say, a bit of a difficult city is what we heard for street crime, this that. So we went for a visa. I had to go with her for visa interview to Chennai. And when we went there, the visa officer, she started asking, I'm going to DC, is there a problem there? That lady was from DC. She told her, why do you worry? DC is the most secure place on the earth. And your college is hardly half a kilometer away from the president's house, White House. This place called Foggy Bottom. So you are going to be there. The most secure place on the earth is there. Absolute security is there. You have every few yards there will be police and phones and this and that. Your university is very good. Midnight also, if you want to go to university, you just call and they'll come and take you to the library and put you back. Why are you worried? So this worry was over. Then where does she stay? So few days before, I had my relatives in New York, but nobody in Washington. So I was thinking, well, where do I go and search? Because for postgraduate courses, you don't get accommodation in the college. You have to hire some place. So I was wondering how to do it and all that. So I spoke to one of my friends. Then suddenly he remembered, there's a lady who's his cousin, who lives in America, who was also Swami devotee family only. They were living in Virginia, but another cousin of theirs was living upstate New York. They were moving into Washington DC area. So when I told him this, he said, those people have just moved here, they have a car, they have, no work for the next 1 week. So he's going to be there. His name is Ajit. Ajit and his wife will be there, Lakshmi. So they'll take, receive you in the airport. They came to airport, received us. We put all the baggage, everything in this big boot in the car. We didn't even unload it. He said, don't worry, you don't unload anything. We spend the night, tomorrow we'll go hunting around for a place. Throughout the 4 days that we were there, he was with us, took us everywhere, went and located a nice place. Then afterwards, he unloaded all the stuff. And in America, if you take an apartment, you have to buy everything. It will be completely cleaned out. There won't be even one piece of paper anywhere. You have to buy everything and go. So we went, did some shopping in IKEA, here, there, everywhere. My wife had given her a photograph and said, first thing you do, she didn't come with me for this, you keep photograph in your kitchenette, light on diya before you do anything else. So she had given her this wick and matches and all that. So, but we didn't carry any ghee or butter. So how to light a wick without that? So we searched everywhere, and lo and behold, inside the refrigerator, there was a small piece of butter that was left there, which is unusual, is not the word, the cleaners will come and clean everything out. That was left there. So we put it in the diya, lit that diya there, and did Swami's Aarti, and then we continued to stay there. And the rest of the period, she never ever had any problem. Every time there was any issue, there was somebody to help her, all the time. And of course she finished, and then there's another story about her marriage. And that's the continuation of the story. At the end of 1 year, she was about to finish her graduation. One day I was in darshan, Swami suddenly, out of the blue, he looked at me sternly and said, what are you doing? So I was a bit perplexed. Then he realized, so look on my face, he gave us my daughter Bartare. So he knew that she's coming back after her graduation. So then I said, yes, Swami, they're coming. Then it struck my tube light that he wanted me to look around for a match for her. Okay, and I was not doing anything. Of course, we are thinking, but I didn't want to do anything till she actually, returns, and then we have to decide what to do. You had to ask her, because she's not here. So then I said, okay, Swami, yes, I will start looking. Then we looked around, found 2, 3 alliances. I told Swami, he said, no. Then I gave him one more name. The minute I said that name, he said, yes, good boy, go ahead. So then I went to see the father. And the father said, Naganand, your family is known to us for so long. There's nothing for me to decide and nothing for me to say. If my son is ready, I have no problem. I don't know, I've not asked my son. So then next day, the boy dropped into my house. He's also a lawyer, so he knows me well. I've known him from the time he was actually a child, because both of them went to Bal Vikas together. But then that was years ago, and this was never in anybody's reckoning at that time. So he came to see me. He said, "Sir, I'm so deeply obliged that you thought I was fit for your daughter's husband. So I would be very happy, but I have to see her. I have to see her once." He knew who she was, but they never had any interaction professionally. They might have seen her in court or something. So then she was in Washington, and he was in India, and he was going to UK. He didn't have a US visa. So I told him, okay, you meet her in UK. So I was in DC at the time. We booked her a flight and she came to London. We had a very dear friend. She always used to stay with him, and he used to stay with us in India. So she stayed with him. And my son-in-law, future son-in-law, came to London, met them. And one day later, they decided, yes, they can go forward. In the middle of the night, she called us. And I got like scared when she called me late in the night. And I said, "Hey, what's samachara?" He said, "No, you can go ahead." And met him. And whatever arrangement you want to do, you may do. Then the next day she was supposed to fly back. And her graduation was 3 days later. So they have a big ceremony. It's called the closing ceremony. Bill Clinton was the chief guest for her closing ceremony in Washington, George Washington University. So everything done. And next day I got a call. She was crying, weeping. I said, "What happened?" She said, "My I-20 form which I had carried here is lost. I can't find it. So I can't come back to the US." So I said, "Don't you worry. I'll go to the university and if it's lost, there'll be a way to get another thing." And then I went to the university and asked them. Meanwhile, my friend Joe, he was booked to come. So he said, "What should I do?" I said, "No, Joe, you don't worry. You please fly. She will next day lock your house and bring your key." So he flew to America. I picked him up in Washington airport. Next day she went and got her I-20 form and landed back 1-2 hours before her graduation ceremony. So when Swami says, "I will take care of everything," what does it mean? It didn't mean that Swami would come and do everything, but if you look at all this jigsaw puzzle, the way it happens, then you will realize what is the weight to be given to Swami's words. It's impossible for us to imagine how Swami's words are. The same girl, after a few months, we were in a couple of years later. So we were in Prasanthi. Suddenly Swami called for interview and looked at her and said, "Yen samachara." So, we all know that if a newly married girl, some elder person asks, "Yen samachara" means, are you in the family way? That's what the question means. So she said, No. She understood. No, she said. So Swami didn't say anything. She came back home. A couple of days later, she had a pregnancy test, which proved positive, and she was carrying a baby she did not know. Right, so this went on like this for some time. And Vijayadashmi, we went to Prasanthi. My daughter was in an advanced stage of pregnancy. We said, "When's due date?" It won't be for at least another 10 days. So very confidently we went there. The minute I got out from the car and stepped into Shanti Bhavan, I get a call to say, "Your daughter has gone into labor, so can you please come back?" So for the first time we went to Parthi, did not have Swami's darshan, got into the car and returned back and reached the hospital at 10 o'clock in the night. And next early morning she delivered a baby girl on Vijayadashmi day. Okay, so another instance of how Swami knows everything. Then that girl, her name is Samika. Believe it or not, every time we went to Puttaparthi after that, she would insist on joining us. She would come, and she was young. For the first 1.5, 2 years, of course, we could only carry her. After that, she would tell her mother, whenever Ajit Tata are going to Prasanthi Nilayam, Puttaparthi, I am going with them. She would pack a bag and be sitting in the doorstep outside her house. They are coming to take me. Never missed a single occasion. Just 2-year-old baby. And she would sit through darshan, not one occasion when she would cry, ask for water, nothing. And she would be full of Swami's gaze. And Swami, every time he came, he looked at her. He smiled at her. And many times he gave vibhuti. If my wife goes to take it, he'll say, "No. Show her hand. Give it to her." And many times he would stop and then tell her to take Padnamaskar. She was only 3 years old or 4 years old. Now, this went on like this. So then Mahasamadhi happened. What do we tell her? Whether we take her, whether we should not take her. Then we decided, no, we have to take her. So we took her. And she saw Swami lying down. She went there, she had a look, she did pradakshina, came back. She's telling my wife, Swami is in deep sleep. I don't think he's going to be speaking to me. Now, you see this bond, this connection of Swami. What do you say for this? I mean, she's just a child. But the impression of devotion, dedication, and Swami's words they are something which are, what should I say? They cement a relationship. They are something which you cannot forget in your life. Can we ever forget these things? Now, many people say that, Swami only used to talk to rich people, to big people, for some great people, ordinary person could not see. I should tell you one more episode. I used to, as I told you, go there on once every week or so, and usually it would be a Sunday. So one Sunday there was some 4 or 5 items on which I had to, make some submission to Swami about something that was happening. So one day I decided to go morning, and our usual journey was 3 a.m. we would leave. We packed some breakfast, and just before reaching we would stop on the road, eat idli or whatever we carried, and reach, because there was no time to go there and have. So we would finish that, reach ashram, and by then 6:40 was Swami's darshan time. 6:40 to 7 in that time we would be out. So we used to reach by 6:15, then come and sit down, and after darshan we would go. So one day I went there like this. So as I reached the place, I saw the place where I was sitting just outside the interview room, there's a chair placed. So whenever there's some VIP, somebody comes, he would be seated there. So the minute I saw the chair, I thought to myself, oh God, today my agenda is gone. Swami is going to come, he'll call this person for interview, whoever it is, and take at least minimum 1 hour, then bhajan time will come. I'll never be able to get any time from Swami. I thought to myself, but I said, anyway, I'm sitting just behind him aside. Few minutes later, Bhagwan came for darshan, and very quickly he came, he saw this person, and then he asked his family to come. In next 3-4 minutes, they also came, they went inside. He was the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. So I thought to myself, my day is over now, what do I do? I have to go back, but how to tell Swami now? Less than 5 minutes, door opened. Swami opened the door, ushered them out, and he's standing at the door, he used to hold the door and look like this. So he looked at me, gave a smile, Ra, he said. So I got up, and then Swami sat down in this throne inside. I sat down, held his feet, and before I could say anything, Swami says, Churu, Chief Minister vastaru potaru. Devotees first ikkadne untaru. These chief ministers come and go. That's of no consequence. But my devotees come here and they stay here. They're always here. Then I had some agenda on my head. But the minute Swami started like this, I did not say anything. I kept quiet. I just held his feet and sat down. I had so many things to tell him about some project, something. Swami kept on looking at me in his own words sometimes. And with Swami, I always followed one thing. Till he allowed me or asked me to open something, I would keep my mouth shut. No question of your volunteering or saying anything or just asking something. Only when he permitted. Either he would permit by a simple gesture in his eyes, or he'd nod his head like this, or he'd say, Chappu, Emi, like that, Yem Samachar. Like he asks a question like this. Kannada used to talk to Yem Samachar like that. Then you would get an opening. Opening never came. This was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock is bhajan. 8, 8:15, 8:20, I'm sitting, touching Swami's feet. Swami is seated, his own reverie or world or whatever it is, never gave me an opening. And quiet. He didn't say anything. Then after some time he looked and said, how's family? My daughters, what are they doing? They're finished studies, which class is he? Like this. All our family affairs. As though some elder in the family is asking about your children and your family, how's your house? Things like that. So I didn't know, when Swami is talking like this, I didn't know how can I raise some business issue with him, relating to trust only, not my business. So this conversation went on. Then suddenly Swami looked at the clock. It was 5 minutes to 9. So he said, 9 o'clock, bhajan. I said, yes, Swami, 9 o'clock, bhajan. Then he saw the anxiety on his son. What, you wanted to tell me something? He said, so 2 minutes. Whatever I had to say, I said, Swami said, okay, don't worry, I will take care. You don't have to do it. Then we got up and switch and fan and all, I used to switch off. come, we go for Bhajan. So he came out and sat in the mandir. I came and sat there. Now, everybody in the veranda is saying, Chief Minister, 2 minutes mein chala gaya. Nagaram was there for 1 hour. I think he was talking all about trust only. Otherwise, why he will be there for 1 hour? Chief Minister could have been there for 1 hour. Now just see this dialogue, you see. What Swami says, why he said, how he said, and what happened. To only grace, only Swami's blessing. He wanted to give that. Nothing else. I really don't deserve it. Not that I do so much work or anything like that. But it is out of his heart, out of his abundant love and affection, compassion, that this happens. Otherwise, God is a Karunamurti, a Karuna Sindhu. Compassion is his everything. It's his very nature, it's his very actual existence of Bhagavan is like that. So that's all that we can say. Otherwise, what else can we say? Can we say that I was sitting at Swami at his feet, holding his feet, because doing nothing? He never asked me any question also. No. So I think that is important. And for Swami, a devotee is most important. There's nothing more important than a devotee. Swami always used to say, no, my devotees are my assets. I know the assets. These are my properties. How should they be? They must be like me. Follow my path. Follow what I tell you to do. Live like how I tell you to do. How frugal you must be. How little you must eat. Now Swami used to eat small piece of chapati, little bit of sabji. Never ate a sweet. He give any sweets he will not take, and he will give it to the person sitting next. Take prasadam, he'll say, put it in the plate. Never take. Rice means 3 spoons of rice. And little bit of curd or something. That's all. And his breakfast was 1 idli. That's all. So what I'm saying is frugality, simple living. And I told you how he lived in Mandir. That was his house. And in Purnachandra, it was really constricted. There was only, in the living room, there was only one sofa. Next to that, Swami's sofa was there. Where he would be sitting and reading on letters and all that. And his compassion was so unlimited, I think the story I've told many times. One day we were sitting there, Swami sat, and he asked me to come. I was standing, he said, no, sit down. I was feeling very uncomfortable sitting Swami in the sofa. No, sit down. He forcefully told me, sit. So I sat. Then he's opening letters. Suddenly that boy is there, looking at him. And Swami looked at him. And his eyes, he started crying, weeping. So I said, what happened? What am I supposed to do? So I just kept quiet. Then he composed and told me, do you know who that boy is? I said, yes, Swami, I've seen that boy. He speaks Kannada, he's from my state. I've seen him here, he's helping you here. Do you know where he was? No, Swami. He was abandoned. He was working as nobody looked after him. He was sleeping in the bus stand in Barkeri. Said, Kurd. I brought him here. He looked at him. He said, are you happy here? So that boy got scared. He started crying. Swami, what you tell him like this? I'm very happy here. Where else can I be like this? So then Swami composed himself and told me, this is the condition of the boy. I brought him here. He's now here. See, he's happy. He's nobody. But for Swami is everybody. For Swami, if he made that boy happy, if he made that boy's life nice, that was all. And why did he have to do this? So only because of Adveshtha Sarvabhutanam Maitri Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukha Kshami. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Adveshtha Sarvabhutanam. That means don't have enmity to anybody. You should love everybody. Bhuta there means living beings, not the Bhuta that we know. It's any living being in Sanskrit is called Bhuta. Maitri, friendship. Karuna, most important, no? Compassion for everybody. Then Nirmamo, no ego, Mamakara. Nirmamo, Nirahankara. Mamata is the desire to own and possess things. Nirahankara is without ego. Sama, dukkha, sukha. You have dukkha, you have sukha. You must be sama. That means you must be equanimity. Sthita prajnasya ka vasha samadhistasya keshavaha. Sthitadir. Oh, so sthita prajna means what? He should be like that. So sama dukkha sukha kshani. Kshani means excuse people, forget people, tolerate people. Don't keep it in mind to say that day somebody said something to me, therefore, he's a bad person, good person. These are simple things, and Swami lived it. He showed it. He told us how to do it. He said, love all, serve all. What does it mean? How can you love all and serve all, you may say? This person I hate. I don't like this person's face. She has done so many wrong things to me. She spread all rumors against me. Why should I like her? How can I like her? Swami gave, how to do it also he gave. If you come across somebody whom you don't like, just fold your hands, say Sai Ram, give a smile, leave the company of the person. Don't be near him or her. This is all you have to do. Nothing more you have to do. So he gave us practical tips. And Swami has spoken about so many things. I sincerely request all of you to take the small Vahinis. Take one Vahini. It's in beautiful, simple English prose. And each of them is a gem, all written by Swami in his own hand. And he has simplified. Prashnottaratna Malikali Vahini is there. Then Gita Vahini is there. Upanishad Vahini is there. Small books. Just read them. This is Swami's message. Now, when you keep reading them, you realize there are some very practical things. Now we look at all these Western authors, Yannick Noah and so many people, they write about all things with some of them may be good books. But what I'm saying is when you have distilled vision, distilled learning, distilled blessing from Swami, what more do you need? That we should first learn. Thereafter you read other things. Other good things, nobody is saying you should not read because Rigveda says, Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Ishvataha. That means, let good thoughts come to us from every side. Don't block any good thoughts. Good thoughts you get from a book. By all means, please read it and benefit from it. So, in Swami's world, the best way that we can adore Swami is to consciously think of him at every stage, pray to him, and to give you the right direction, to help you do the correct things, to help you conduct yourself in the best manner with people around you, with your parents, with your loved ones, with your colleagues. You should all be examples of how an ideal person is in life. Swami expected that only. He told the students, your life should be my message. That's what Swami is telling them. That means how you live, you must it must exemplify Swami. Now, Mr. Ratan Tata, who recently passed away, right, he came to Bhagwan. And, his trusted right-hand person was Venkatraman, who was Swami's student. He was his executive assistant. He became executive managing trustee of Tata Trust. How? Why? He saw what sterling qualities about this boy. All trained here. He came to Bhagwan. I was present on that occasion. And he was so overwhelmed. Swami received him in Yajur Mandir. And he spoke to him for 10 to 15 minutes and blessed him. And then he touched Swami's feet and then he left. And after that, this TCS company is there, which is Tata Group Company, Tata Consulting Services. Swami announced Vidya Vahini in 2010, Satsai Vidya Vahini. That is a computer-based education system. Of course, it's developed significantly now. You will get more about it in the website if you see. So for the entire program of Vidya Vahini, TCS gave us all the initial support because now they no longer need it, they're not there. But Tata, and after that he went back, he sent a check for 2 crore rupees. Nobody asked him any money. Swami did not tell anything. But when he saw what is happening, he just voluntarily sent that money. I'm saying 2 crore rupees in, when is this? Sometime in 2008, 9, 10, around that time. So what I'm saying is, all great people came to Bhagwan and they saw in him a divine spirit. divine being, how he conducted himself with people, and what he did for humanity. Why will somebody build hospitals and spend 100 crores rupees a year or more on people you don't know at all? If supposing somebody you don't know comes and asks you, please pay for my son's education, it will cost you some $25,000 a year, will you give? You will start thinking 100 times, this must be cheating me, why should I give him, I have no connection with him, what should I do, let him go and borrow money. All these thoughts will come to us, no? But for Swami it's not like that. Why you should give free treatment means, if you don't give him free treatment, the man will never be able to recover. And if he goes to hospital, where will he pay the bill? That will be bigger worry for him, he will die of that worry rather than treatment. This is how Swami thinks. So anybody and everybody who comes to Swami, near Swami, he thinks like this. So when will we start thinking like that? Nobody is telling you to donate all the money in your pocket. Swami always said, don't give more than what you can give. Your first duty is yourself, your family, you have to provide for them. After that, you must put a ceiling. Okay, ceiling. You got about, say, 25 pairs of dresses. Then you have about 100 saris. Now, beyond 100 saris, when you go shopping, you buy another 5 saris. You don't know where to keep them. You're never going to wear them, at least once a year. Then what do you do with 105 saris? When 99 saris are not used. But still we want. How many pairs of shoes we want? How many watches do we want? How many pairs of clothes we want? So these are desires which you can easily curb. It's not so difficult. You take whatever. I must end with a quote. Mr. Narayan Murthy, the founder of Infosys, his wife is a lady called Sudha Murthy. She's written a number of books for children. Very nice books, all in English. So she's a multi-billionaire. I think their net worth is something like about 10, 15, 20 billion rupees. She has not bought a sari for the last 25 years. She announced this. She says, why do I need to buy sari when I got so many saris which I have not worn? Somewhere I go, somebody gives sari. Whichever sari they give, it's okay. I don't ask, but if they trust it on me, those type of saris I bought. So she says I have not bought sari for 25 years. And she supports school, she supports so much of charity they do. Both the couple, I know them very well. They're very fine and pious people. Always going out to help somebody. Now what I'm saying, so the sealing of desires is something very important. We can easily practice it if we mentally start preparing ourselves. We must prepare ourselves. Now in my own way I've practiced it in my life. That if I have something, I'm not going to buy another thing till that is over. If that is over, then I will buy something. That same item. Otherwise I don't need to buy. If you already have it, why don't you buy it? What are you going to do with it? It's no use. Somebody else will use it. So by this process, you can easily reduce your wants and desires. Now, Arishad Vargas are there, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These 6 things which you control, then your life is going to be peaceful. And by following Swami's path, you're going along the road, the highway, not a byway. The highway is the one which is going to take you to Swami. That we can achieve only by His grace. So what we must pray, we have a family temple. My grandfather built it in 1955. There's a beautiful saying there. He says, Badu sarthaka vagodu devara krupeyinda. That means your life will become fulfilled only by the grace of God. Adaru sarthaka vagali emba bayake namagirabeku. That means we must have the desire. We must pray that, I need my life to get fulfilled. That prayer should be there. If you have the prayer, you will come to Bhagavan. I want my life to be fulfilled. Okay, I am coming to Bhagavan. Please help me to fulfill. This is important. But the last line is, Adaru anta bayake namage hecchu hechagi karunisu. So the prayer is, God, give me more of that desire to come to you for this grace. See, if He gives you that desire, then you'll start praying. Now, He's given us all the desire to be sitting here enjoying Swami's company, listening to beautiful bhajans which have transported us to some place in our mind and heart, and we're talking about satsangatve, nisangatve, nisangatve, nirmohatve, nischalatatve, jivan mukti. Now if somebody asks you, you're very hungry. Yes, I'm hungry. Okay, I'll give you food to eat, but I'll give it to you after you die. Will you accept it? Of course. He said, no, I'm hungry now. I need it now. My desire is now. Please give it to me now. So mukti, everybody says, why should you do anything now? I'll get mukti after I die. What dies is your body. No, you must be very clear about that. There is a difference between body and soul, Atma. You say, this is my hand. My hand means who? Who is the owner of the hand? Body itself is the owner of the hand. No, there's somebody inside. Dehi is called in Sanskrit philosophy. Deha is the body. Dehi is the person who lives in the body, the indweller. Isn't it? So you want mukti. Nobody wants mukti after you're dead, no? What difference it makes to your body? See, as long as you're alive, everybody is, loves to shake your hands and do everything. The minute you die, if somebody comes to shake your hand, want to touch your body, they'll be scared. Even your nearest and dearest ones will stay far away and do like this. They won't come near your body. That means all the reverence and everything is given to you or to your body or to the soul inside you. Actually, it is the divine personality inside you. Ekam sad mitraha bauda vadanti. Swami used to say this many times. There is one truth. The learned people give it different names. Upanishad says, Ekam sa ekaha saya ekam vid. Then Swami is, when Bhajan is there, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. What does it mean? God is Satya, He is Jnana, He is Ananta, and that is Brahman. And the one inside us is Brahman. That's the one who resides inside us. So if you, all these things are, bodily attachments. Like, you feel like having a nice ice cream. I used to drink coffee for many, many years. 5-6 years ago, during COVID, I said, let me stop drinking coffee. Let's see what happens. I thought it would be very difficult. Whenever I go somewhere, someone will invite me for coffee. What do I tell them? I drink only water. No, have some coffee. No, I don't drink coffee. No, please have some coffee. Oh, I have water. So this dialogue goes on now. But the minute you decide, I'm not going to have coffee, the matter ends, no? So how do you put this desire on yourself, this limitation? That's what Swami always says. If you want to be happy, see, by satisfying your sense organs, you can never get permanent happiness. Let's be clear about that. I have gulab jamuns, I love it. I have them. Fantastic. And the person who's serving you gives you another 5 and says, please have 5 more because you like gulab jamun. What will you do? You pray with him and fight with him. Please don't give me. Pack it and give me and take it home and eat it tomorrow. No, you have to eat it now only. Obviously, you're not going to eat it. Why? Because your sense organ has been satisfied. Okay. Now 24 hours later, you're walking by a sweet shop. Gulab jamun is your favorite sweet. Right? You see it beautifully decorated there. You say, gulab jamun. Today is also my gulab jamun day. Let me go and eat one. Isn't it? We feel like that. No? It's something which we love. So why not have it tomorrow? So the more you appease your senses, the more you become a slave to it. The more unhappiness you'll get. Now take a poor man. Today I went for a wedding, he was fed well, he enjoyed the gulab jamun. Tomorrow he has no paisa in his pocket, he doesn't have 5 rupees also. Okay, it's another human being like you and me. He goes into the fruit shop, he's a sweet shop, he's looking at the gulab jamun, his mouth is watering. But he can't afford to buy it. So what did this give you? Gave you dukkha. No? Because Sukha came, Dukkha comes. And if the person says, no, coffee aroma, if the aroma of coffee is there, I used to go and have coffee. No, coffee aroma makes no difference to me. If the coffee aroma is there, I feel like going somewhere else. No. Don't go near it. Means not that I'm doing it to avoid it, but I'm saying your mind says that, coffee, okay, coffee, fine, no problem. No coffee. So it's all in your mind. Swami is saying that only. You can control your desires. You can control your wants. You have to limit them. And then enjoy life. Be in good company. Satsanga, Nisanga. Enjoy life. Do everything good. Help others. Be happy. Swami is always there. Be happy, be happy, be happy. So let's pray to Bhagavan to bless all of us, to follow his path, to be happy, to be good people. Anybody who sees you must say, he's such a fine human being, such a good person. And they must, come and express their happiness to you that you're such a nice person. That should be the aim of our life. That's the only way in which we can go on the path that Swami has showed us. Mahajana yena gatha sapanta. That means the road which the great people took, that is the road which we must all take. And to do that, we need Swami's grace. For that, we need to continue to pray. And let's all pray to Swami to give us more and more of his grace and more and more desire to pray to him and keep us steadfast in his faith. Because you didn't get gulab jamun today, you can't say, Swami, gulab jamun, my favorite sweet, why didn't you give it to me? Why did they give some kobri mitai or something, which I hate? Huh? So that's how we got to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. And now we shall offer Mangal Arati to them.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्ति महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशि श्री Swami Sarva Prana Pate Ashita सत्य साई बाबा जी की परमं पवित्रं पावविभूत्यं परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूत्यं परमात्मैष्टान्तमोक्षप्रदानं पावविभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं पावविभूत्यं परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूत्यं परमात्मैष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं पावविभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं पावविभूत्यं परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूत्यं परमात्मैष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं पावविभूतिम् शांति 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 ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्मणे ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मा समाधिना अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ